Hello, good morning, and welcome to a place that we like to call the Morning Smoke. It is your host, the underscore truth 1987. I'm here with my co host, Mr. Mello Miller. I don't know whether to say hello or aloha. I'm not really sure right now. Um, he's if you can't see him, radio people, he's dressed like he is either on his way to Hawaii or coming back from Hawaii. Not sure which one. I just didn't know that there was a Hawaii where we live at in Indianapolis. So, but anyway, I'll let him explain that, I guess, when he gets talking. But before we do that, I know my co-host probably has a lot to talk about today. Let me just tell you a little bit about us. If it's your first time listening to us, thank you. You're in for a treat. We have been so far in these past couple months number one show here on JQLM Radio. So I'm very, 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 very proud of that achievement. We accomplished that. That is something that we set out to do. And now we've got a new challenge. We want to keep it rolling. We want to stay the number one show. So, but thank you to JQLM Radio for the opportunity. And if you are listening to us for the first time, we are here every week, every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. We're also on our main spots, which is Facebook and YouTube at the Morning Smoke Podcast. We're also on TikTok. So you can check us out on all the social media avenues. We also have listening on Spotify and Anchor.fm as well too. But that is a little bit about us. But as we always do every week, we like to kind of tell you what's going on in our world today. So I'm going to turn it over to I don't know, my co-host, my brother. I don't know what they say in Hawaii. That person that's opposite of me, Mr. Miller. How's it going, sir? Aloha. Aloha.
Hey man, how you doing, man? How you doing? I do want to say, man, look, right above me, beautiful logo, Morning Smoke. I love that. Me and my co-host had recent conversations, but if you notice in the background, there's logos playing in the background. If you know, folks, you know it's an inside deal there. But hey, glad to be here, co-host. Um,
I know
how's
you're
your
waiting for. I know you're waiting for a response. I'm not going to give you one, so keep
how's
going.
your morning, man?
My morning's going good. We are 1 week away from Juneteenth, so I'm very excited to celebrate that. So yeah,
With that being said, man, hot topics, hot topics. I'll start off a little light. Um, my co-host, he's funny. I'll start off a little light here. Notre Dame, they picked up a recruit, 6'4", 275-pound interior lineman. He's a tenacious guard that the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Big 12 have been all pursuing. Joe Otting, he committed to the Irish last week. Big pickup for them. They definitely need that mauling presence. He's a little lower on the rankings, but from all the film I see, he is nasty. And a lot of the big schools, like say Big Ten, Pac-12, and Big 12, all wanted him. So he chose the Irish this past week. So congrats to him on making the right choice. With that being said, look, we talking a little Lakers, and I just want my Laker nation to sit with me. Co-host, if you want to, there's more than enough room on the bandwagon. You can come on in. If
I'm
you
fine
want
where I'm
to,
at. Thank you.
well,
Thanks
I
for the
mean,
opportunity.
if you want, But anyway,
No, I'm too busy. I'm too busy worried about our finals right now that we're in currently, unlike Laker Nation. But keep going.
like
Continue.
we're planning our finals. So that's all I can say for 2022-23. With that being said, listen, I
You're
have
planning.
the
You're
roadmap.
planning. We're in it.
I have the roadmap. While some people are, worrying about this year, we are spending this extra time that we have, glass half full type situation. I have the roadmap. So to all our Laker fans out there, friends of the show, Ortega Sauce, Keys, all you guys out there, pay attention. I need the Lakers. Look, we could keep Russ, but since we're going all in on year 20 of LeBron, we're gonna go ahead and trade him to the Indiana Pacers for Brogdon and Buddy Hield. Uh, We're going to throw in a first rounder with that. They're going to want a second first rounder from us. We're going to hold firm and put a $4 million kicker involved to eat some of that contract for Russ. Why would the Pacers do this? It frees up 47 million in salary with an expiring contract from Russell Westbrook. That's how we got to sell it. It's as simple as that. We take on $80 million in cap over the next couple years for Brogdon and Hill. They take 47 and it's off the books at the end of the season. Pacers make that trade. Both parties win. With that being said, the next order of business, we're trading THT, none, and our other first rounder. We only got 2 to work with. We trade another first rounder to the Houston Rockets for Christian Wood. The only thing that really would hinder this potentially is THT has a player option the year after. And so we definitely would have to get in place, kind of a commitment or extension type situation for THT to deal with the Rockets. But I think that can be negotiated as well. Where they're at in their rebuild, where the Pacers are at rebuild, these moves make sense. And they make sense for where the Pacers are going all in. That brings us Brogdon, Buddy Hield, and Christian Wood. I'm sorry, folks. That's as good as it's going to get out here. Let's take that and run with it. Who we have on the roster right now? We got Westbrook, Reeves, Nunn, THT, Braun, Stanley Johnson, AD, and Wayne Gabriel. That's it. That's all we got. So now that I've told you some outgoing pieces, what are we going to do with some of these things that we got on there? We're going to pick up Gabriel's team option. He's serviceable. He's cheap, minimum. We're going to go ahead and keep him. We're going to pick up Reeves' option. He's actually going to be solid in the rotation. He's literally said he's working on his playmaking. He wants to play backup point guard, even shooting guard potentially in that back court. Stanley Johnson, we're going to pick him up too. He's undersized, but he loves doing the little things, the intangibles, and he is cheap. Keyword cheap, Lakers. We only have one mid-level exception, and the rest that we have to offer are league minimums. So it's, now I mentioned the mid-level, and this guy's playing right now, okay? But I feel that we could get him, and that's Otto Porter. Mid-level exception is where he's anticipated next season. The Warriors could offer him this same piece, and so he has a choice to make. But I feel that the Lakers could get him to come on over for that mid-level to give this. He is a Bron fan. He's it's reported ties to L.A. Now he's in Cali, so I mean, San Francisco ain't far. So I don't know how much of a selling point it is, like it would be to somebody, playing elsewhere. But I think we can get him. We're going to sell him. We're going to give 30 minutes a night. We're giving you that role. Warriors can't give you that. All right, Warriors can't give you that. We're going to, sell that particular role. Now, other player that we have, he's been at the Lakers before. It didn't work out this last time, but he did play well with the Bucks. And that's Wesley Matthews, league minimum. We can get him to come on back, give him a little bit. He has the connection with Ham. Like I said, he played for the Bucks last year, and he is somewhat of a two-way guy, so I think he could definitely find some minutes in that rotation for the league minimum. Remember, these aren't all-star level players we're getting at this spot. So Laker Nation, stay patient and understand what I'm trying to build here. Next, I'm going back to the Bucks. This is really a third string type point guard that could get in there if there's injuries or rest, and that's Javion Carter, 3-and-D guard from the Bucks. He will come over for the league minimum. Then I'm looking at, we need some spacing out there. I need some shooting. I want Breen Forbes from the Spurs. He definitely can spread the floor and knock that thing down league minimum. He's a good player. I'm going to take a flyer. This guy's a bigger name, not as far as like all-star superstar, but just a more known guy, Josh Jackson. He's been around a little bit. Teams have given up on him. I say we take a flyer on him, league minimum. He has some talent out there. He's not that first-round talent in which he was drafted, but I think that we could definitely take a flyer on him for a league minimum. What is the worst that could happen? Cut him and you sign somebody else? So, yeah, definitely take him. Then you say, well, I need some veteran presence. Bring Melo back, league minimum. The difference is this year, you're not our sixth man. We're literally going to keep it real with you. The backup power forward, probably 8th, 9th, 10th in the rotation, just where you are, because you're what you are is a few buckets here and there. That's it. You're a turnstile on defense. You're not the player that you used to, but come along for this ride and get you that ring, baby. Sign with us. Damian Jones, we shouldn't have let this guy go, but when Drummond came along, we cut him because we thought we had a good option. But I really do like this guy as the backup center to Christian Wood. And even, 80 in that mix, he can play the 4 or 5. I really do like this guy for what? What's the theme? League minimum. Definitely bring him on back. He's bouncy, rim protector, rebounds. I really like it. So when you think about this, I'll just give the roadmap. I'll fax this on over to Palinka. I'll email it to Brian. We can get this, started here. This right here will put us in contention to make a run at that. Go ahead, that trophy. We'll be still playing this time next year with this roster that I just had, and it's also very flexible. Now we are selling that future. We're giving 2 first rounders, but we're going all in. We're the Lakers. We're championship or bust. I'm not worried about 5 years down the road. Let's go all in. You do this, you get Brian to re-sign his player option the year after, and then maybe he go to play with his son after that. But we get Brian 2 more years, 80. Let's get a couple rings out of this thing and put Brian in his proper place as far as championships. Co-hosts, you heard a few different things from me. I know your mind may be elsewhere. What you think on some of these moves, man?
Uh, I mean, they definitely need to. In my opinion, I think they need to get younger. They got too many old people on the team. I'm okay with a couple of league minimums for some older guys, but they're too old. They need to get younger, so that way they can be cultivated in a young age by a seasoned vet in LeBron James. As long as they do that, I think they'll be successful. But y'all can have Otto Porter if y'all want to give that man that many minutes. That's fine. He can't survive that many minutes. So he'll most likely get hurt if you do that. So if that's what you want to sell him on, go for it. But he's just putting himself in a bad situation if that happens. He's good where he's at, honestly. He's getting enough minutes to where he doesn't get hurt and he still makes an impact for the team when he comes in. So um but hey, everybody has to go where they feel they need to go. And if he does decide to go, more power to him. Just stay healthy. That's always been the issue for Mr. Otto Porter. But um, other than that, I don't have too much else to say. I'm pretty sure I'll hear another example of Laker talk next week. So I'll just catch up on the next conversation. So
My man, my man. Anyway, that's all I got, man. What you got for us?
well, I don't have any sports news in our first segment. I like to kind of leave that for one. But I do have a couple things that's going on in our world today. Number one, so as I've already stated, next week will mark the very first Juneteenth holiday for the America here. So that will be on observed on the 20th. It's on the 19th. It's observed on the 20th. Well, um, TMZ reported yet another first for Indianapolis. So Indianapolis has never been in TMZ until this time, and the reason why they are in TMZ is because our children's museum here, which is a very popular children's museum, there's multiple, yeah, world class. There's multiples across the nation, but this is like we're the best when it comes to this museum. They're in the news because they decided that they wanted to raise awareness for this holiday. And what they decided to do is, you know what? We're going to offer some food that resembles this holiday. And they decided to bring out a dish called the watermelon salad. Um, it's getting a lot of backlash. I too was thrown off personally. I'm not sure why they went with the watermelon side.
I
Not
know
sure if
why.
there's any, particular reason for that. The rep that actually thought of this from the Children's Museum, he said that red foods have historically been served by some to remember the blood that was shed along the way to freedom. Um, I don't know if that's the case. What I think is because it's a black holiday and the stigma that goes behind black people is black people love chicken, watermelon, and things of that nature. I'm a black person. I don't really care for watermelon that much, honestly. I like chicken. That is true. But they are getting a lot of backlash. That's was reported by TMZ. But I wanted to report that because that is a first for the city of Indianapolis. You decided to get posterized in the for giving out watermelon salad. But that's the first thing. Anything on that co-host or
Um, I've read some of the conversations in the backlash, and to be honest with you, I'm not offended at all.
you like
Um,
watermelon? Yeah.
well, honestly, it just depends of the route you want to go. Children's Museum is all about history and things of that nature, and if they're trying to honor things that probably was eaten during around this holiday, or things that probably would honor this particular thing from a food perspective, they could have went a few different routes, but this is one of them. This is definitely behind every stereotype and stigma. There's a little truth. Um, Watermelon is definitely associated in the Black history, and sometimes negative when it's blackface and minstrel shows and things of that nature. And then other times, I mean, it's just true. It was a food that was grown. It was cheaper. Watermelon cheap to this day, and it's at many cookouts and things of that nature. Now, it's not just black folks that eat it, but I get it. The modern twist on it is making it into some weird salad. It didn't even look appealing, blah blah blah. But I guess I'm not up in arms in the way that some are. I don't find it. I can see where they're. I don't know. For me, I am that guy that I have thick skin. I definitely want things to be appropriate. What is the word? What's the word? PC. You know, and stuff of that nature. As companies, and I take this from my own experience, as companies try to be more inclusive and diverse, there's going to be missteps along the way, but I feel that Children's Museum's heart was in the right place. There's no way, and I mean this with all my heart, Children's Museum is pretty left. There's no way that this left leaning entity did this to be malicious. They did this with good intentions. If people can hold them to that and realize it's a misstep, I don't think it should be all this fuss. Just being real. That's my take on it.
For me, it doesn't bother me either because, like I said, I don't even eat watermelon, so it really never touched me in that way. Like, oh my god, they just had to put that because I'm, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, honestly, personally. But I can see it from both ends. So, but news or update news on that, they did remove it from the menu, so they will not be serving it on that day. But they will have other things going on for that day. So it should be a really good time if you want to get out and actually kind of see history of that particular day. They do have some other events going on for that day as well. But enough of that. Next thing, in really quick because I know we're coming up on time. Um, we've talked about some movies and things of that nature that's coming up. Here in the recent, and also in the future. Well, one of those movies was Aquaman, and that movie was actually set to come out this fall. Got pushed back to next year in March in 2023. And obviously, the two people that headline this movie is Jason Momoa and Amanda Heard. Well, if you haven't been in today's news, Amanda Heard has been on trial with Mr. Johnny Depp for quite some time, and the verdict came out awarding Johnny Depp, I think, what was it, 50 million? She only got
15,
two or something of that nature.
15 million to two.
15 minutes into gotcha. But so because of the backlash and things of that nature, Warner Brothers have been reported that they are going to be removing her completely from the actual Aquaman movie. So if you watch the movie, Amanda Heard played Mirror, Amira, I think that's how you pronounce it. So now there's rumors that she might be leaving the movie, and they might, have her, pass away early in the movie, so that way she doesn't have any other parts, things of that nature, because they don't want the negative backlash to come to the movie. So, which I mean, I get, but that is been reported of something that they are going to do. The movie is still slated to come out next March in 2023. So we'll see kind of what happens between now and then. But as of right now, they are deleting her completely from the movie. So your thoughts, sir?
She had a bit of screen time in the Aquaman movie, the two movies for Aquaman. I'll just say that in the grand scheme, she's insignificant, so I don't really care. It bothers me none. I hope it doesn't mess with the storyline significantly, but I don't think she should have played a huge part regardless. She did play somewhat of a role, introducing them into that initial world and things like that. She went along the ride to try to find the trident and things of that nature, the more powerful one. She nothing to me. I don't care. They could recast her and just redo those. I don't really. All I know is she had to go, or the movie was going to take hits. And if the movie takes too
Hmm.
much sales wise, they're not going to continue making movies. So fix it so we can make some money and keep these movies coming. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, DC can't afford to take no more hits. They're already behind the ball. So um,
Not all of us can be owned by Disney. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
never that. Anyway, I think you had something else you wanted to bring to the table before we cut out of here, sir.
A couple minutes. Listen, coming up, and this is for all of our superheroes. We'll stick along this theme, right? Definitely wasn't even planned, but that's kind of funny that that's the transition. We're having a superhero tournament, and it's a show that we feel it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have seeds 1 through 8 bracket of 32, and we're going to whittle it down until we get to the champion. Criteria for this is simply if they were going to meet in um, regular situation. I mean, it'd be the more common form of these characters. Most people have different iterations of them and things of that nature. I mean, we talking 1950 Superman, Prime Superman, whatever, blah blah blah. I mean, there's a lot of different things. So we're just talking about the most common, and we'll go over them as we do it, in each one per se. But the one that people would know, and as far as that set of powers and things of that nature. So, but yeah, I have a list here, man. Well, look, we studied the contenders, and this is what we determined would be the order. I'm just giving you a sample. Tune in to the show. We'll go over it again, and we'll have guests on, and we'll vote, and we'll see who moves on. Number one seeds. You know what? No. I'm gonna do a reverse. 8 seed. Winter Soldier, Widow, Falcon, and Harley Quinn. 7 seed. Green Arrow, Gamora, Star Lord, and Hawkeye. 6 seed. Ant-Man, Black Panther, Hawkgirl, Robin. 5th seed, Martian Manhunter, Iron Man, Loki, Captain America. 4th seed, Batman, Raven, Green Lantern, and Cyborg. 3rd seed, Miss Marvel, Thor, Aquaman, and Shazam. Number 2 seed, Wonder Woman, Hulk, Flash, and Constantine. And the number 1 seed, Superman, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Supergirl. I feel really good about these seedings. Is there anything off bat? Because, like I said, we got about 30 seconds. Anything off bat that you just hearing in the seedings? Where do you think people are going to get the most feedback about? Where do you think that may be?
Maybe in that like 2 through 4, maybe. I think we might hear some feedback from it, but I think the ones is solidified. Honestly, they're all number one in some universe somewhere. So
Yeah. I think the Hulk may get a little bit of pushback.
mm-hmm.
He may, we're talking about. I mean, splitting hairs when you talk about these top people.
Yeah.
I'm looking here at the list. Martian Manhunter, I personally am a bigger fan of than probably a 5th seed, but he is the top 5th seed. And so he could possibly be higher, but I can't argue. I mean, where am I going to put him? A 4th seed? And so it's not a big difference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, anyways, I'm looking forward to this. I know we got some Green Arrow fans out there that are fans of the show. I know we got some Black Panther fans because we've interviewed them. Um, your girl Widow, she appropriately seated at the 8th seat.
Yeah, yeah,
Good, good.
absolutely.
Yeah, no power having. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, so this is going to be coming up. Stay tuned. We'll give you more information. We'll definitely promote it. And anyway, take us out, co-host. We got a second segment coming up. We hard up against it.
Yep. When we come back, we will have our annual sports talk. Even though we had some this,
Don't do
we'll
that.
have our annual sports talk, where we'll talk about our actual current.
Yeah,
events
that's why
of
it was an
sports.
insert.
Uh,
That's what.
so yeah, you're right. You're right. The Lakers ain't current right now. But yeah, we'll be back.